Hi, I'm Logan Chainer,
And I'm Ben Van Camp.
and we're here to review Modern Warfare 3 for Connection Interrupted. Modern Warfare 3 is the highly anticipated sequel to Modern Warfare 2, uh, published by
Activision.
yeah.
And
Developed by Infinity Ward.
Yeah, Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer.
Yeah, Sledgehammer did the multiplayer, right? Or most of the multiplayer.
Yeah, Sledgehammer was said to have started working on different franchise for not really franchise, a different way of doing Call of Duty, but Infinity Ward actually needed more help, so Sledgehammer kind of dropped that for now and helped out.
Well, there were plenty of Infinity Ward members fired from the team, correct?
Yeah.
Well, despite all that, I still think they've made a pretty solid game in Modern Warfare 3. It's the conclusion to a trilogy of Modern Warfare games, starting with Call of Duty 4 in 2007, and here 4 years later, we're seeing the conclusion. The graphics of Modern Warfare 3 are really what brought the game down a lot for me, honestly.
Yeah, it's either the same, maybe even worse than Modern Warfare 2, to be honest, because to keep that 60 frames per second, they have to.
Right. Drop. Well, being a big Call of Duty 4 player like I was, playing the campaign and playing the multiplayer, I saw a lot of things that reference back to Call of Duty 4 and were
the red dot site was.
Yeah, they looked a lot like Call of Duty 4 in certain aspects, and that I think they were trying to hit up the nostalgia players and being like, oh, we're playing Call of Duty 4 again, but in reality, it was more like, why are you reusing the same code you were using Call of Duty 4? That's 4 years old. Give me something new.
Yeah, they really hit on the 60 frames per second, which I don't think it matters that much because human eyes can't see past 30, like they can't see the difference.
Yeah, I mean, Battlefield 3 runs at 30 frames per second, and
it looks fantastic.
Yeah, it looks much better than Modern Warfare 3. But, the graphics don't make the game, so we'll continue with our review. Water looked pretty bad. There wasn't too much water in the multiplayer, which is the staple of Call of Duty. But in the campaign, there were levels where you would come up and they looked bad.
Yeah, or like the mission with Frost when you're on the speedboat.
Yeah, that looked pretty bad too.
The waves, it just
was not good. Fire was very disappointing to me, honestly. Yeah. I thought this game would hit fire on the spot, and it didn't.
Fire's always hard to do because it's
right.
Fire's random in actuality. So
well, from a distance, fire looked all right, but when you got up close, it looked like a 2D model, honestly.
Yeah.
I was very disappointed. So for graphics, I gave Modern Warfare 3 a 7.
And I gave it 7 as well.
So for Modern Warfare 3, we both gave it 7s. Sound in this game, there were a lot of reused gun sounds from the past Call of Duties, which is a little disappointing. But I feel like they stepped up voice acting just a little bit.
Yeah, they introduced new characters as well, which that'll go more into campaign, but everybody they made people more individualized again.
Yeah, that's definitely a plus. That kind of disappeared in Modern Warfare 2, which is really disappointing. The multiplayer announcers, they're new. I like the sound of them. Oh yeah,
because of the new factions and everything, they have new voices.
So for sound, I gave Modern Warfare 3 a 9.
And I gave it a 7. Something with sound again, the explosions like in multiplayer and campaign, they just are way too quiet.
Yeah, they were not. They looked bad. They sounded bad. That was very disappointing.
Even if they look bad, I'd rather have it like a bad-looking one with a big sound. But it was just terrible.
One thing Call of Duty's always been praised on is it being smooth. Every single argument. Well, Call of Duty's smoother than Battlefield. It's smoother than another first-person shooter. And
Battlefield 3 is a lot smoother now.
Yeah, Battlefield really stood up its gameplay, and you'll see that in our Battlefield 3 review, or have seen that, I guess. Yeah.
Depends on which order you watch this in.
Well, either way, if you look at our Battlefield 3 review, we'll talk about how smooth it is.
But Call of Duty has always been a smooth game, so they always emphasize that. And Battlefield 3 just introduced smoother gameplay.
Right. Their controls for Modern Warfare 3 were really top notch. They didn't change anything, which I don't think they needed to. I think it
flows.
It was great. Controls were where it was at, so I gave controls a 10.
And I gave it controls a 10 as well.
The campaign was it was kind of a big deal. It was the conclusion to this story of Soap and Price and so on.
Most of their previews and commercials are based off campaign, aren't they?
Yeah. Because
those have the most actiony moments, I'd say.
And Call of Duty's always been about that scripted action play or action cinematics where it doesn't necessarily it keeps you in the first person perspective of whoever you're playing, which I've always liked. Call of Duty's done that.
Yeah, like if you're falling down a hill or stairs, you see your guy seeing himself rolling.
And that's always been a definite thing that Call of Duty's done, that Call of Duty brought to the market that I like. I think it's cool. The campaign felt a little short.
Yeah, if you play it on the easiest difficulty, you can finish it in about 4 hours.
Yeah, I played on Harden, which is the second hardest difficulty, and I got it in about 5.5 hours.
So it feels a little short, but to me, I actually felt like satisfied with it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. There were still some plot holes,
Yeah.
which we won't reveal because we don't do spoilers. No.
But what I noticed when I was playing campaign is when you're playing as Frost, you kind of feel like you want to go back to whatever Price is doing.
Yeah, I agree to that to some point, but I enjoyed the Frost missions as well. It gave me that sense of I'm here defending America.
Yeah.
America. But the Price and Soap and Yuri missions were definitely a plus. One thing I kind of really started to notice in this game is Nikolai is like the baddest guy we know. He's just awesome, and
he has like helicopters and
how many times did he save Price and Soap?
Every time.
Pretty much every time he's evacuated them. And Modern Warfare 2 also.
Yeah, I know.
And he gave the intel at the start of the events of Modern Warfare 1. Nikolai's,
he's a boss.
Yeah, he definitely is. He was cool. But with the thing about the campaign that really disappointed me the most was it being a little short and still having some plot holes. Not nearly as bad as Modern Warfare 2. Yeah. We could make a whole 30-minute review on the plot holes.
Because there's a whole thing about Ghost that people argued over. Even I did, but
yeah, Ben definitely did.
Yeah, I did.
Well, in Modern Warfare 2, we won't reveal it, but I guess we will kind of reveal it.
Yeah.
Roach was who you played as.
Yeah.
You played as Roach in Modern Warfare 2, and Ghost was your partner. Which
at the moment, yeah.
Ghost was I think spawned from Gaz from Modern Warfare 1.
Yeah.
I missed Gaz. I was sad when Gaz died.
Some people have speculated that Ghost is Gaz, but we won't get into that.
Gaz got shot in the head in Modern Warfare 1. You clearly saw it. I don't think he's coming back from that. But Ghost and Roach are betrayed by Commander Shepard.
Yeah.
Commander Shepard. General Shepard. Commander Shepard.
It doesn't matter.
Mass Effect.
Shepard.
Sorry, we both played too much Mass Effect.
I played like 60 hours in 1 week.
I think we need to do a Mass Effect review. I think that would be fantastic thing to do. We both know tons about it.
Because ME3.
In March 6th, I think.
Okay.
But Shepard betrays them, and he ends up killing Ghost and Roach. But Ben argues that when Shepard shot Ghost, he was shot in the shoulder, not in the chest.
Yes. And I watched it like 5 times. And at the beginning of the mission, you'll notice that Ghost says, "Why do we have to wear these fireproof vests?" Which I think would protect Ghost from dying, but I guess it was just something ironic.
And after they shot them, they dragged them over to a little hole and poured gasoline on them. Or on one of them, as you say.
When I watched the video, I only saw them pour gas on one of them.
And then they light them on fire. And Ben argues that him being shot in the shoulder and him wearing the fireproof vest could have protected him. But and that he would make an appearance in Modern Warfare 3. This was all, we speculated this all before Modern Warfare 3 was released, and we were both arguing about it. We had tons of arguments about it.
And we won't reveal the truth.
Yeah, well, you want to say it, or you want to just save it?
Let's just keep it.
Okay.
Make people get.
Yeah, we'll keep it. But we both speculated our different thoughts. To me, Ghost was dead, Roach was dead, and to Ben, Roach died, but Ghost was still alive and would make an appearance in Modern Warfare 3. Won't reveal anything, but go play the campaign and you'll figure it out for yourself. For campaign, I gave it an 8.5.
And I gave it an 8.
Spec Ops mode was introduced in Modern Warfare 2 as a 2-player co-op where you do missions that are somewhat relevant to the story. In Modern Warfare 2, they weren't really that relevant. They were just kind of random missions. But in Modern Warfare 3, they did something neat where you would play like the opposite of the guy. Like there's a mission where you have to try and protect the president, and then in Spec Ops, there's a mission where you attack the president. So the Spec Ops missions were a little more relevant to the story this time around, but that's not really that big of a deal. It's more just a co-op, go have fun mode.
But something I don't like about Spec Ops is that it's not 4-player, it's only 2-player.
I wish it would be 4-player, or maybe even 6-player.
Same thing with Survival, which we'll get into later.
Yeah, Survival, that Survival was already pretty great. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
Spec Ops, one thing it did do was it felt very, very similar to Modern Warfare 2's Spec Ops mode, and some of the missions were almost a dead replay with just new textures.
I mean, it was fun, but still.
Yeah, for co-op modes, Survival definitely beats out Spec Ops because Spec Ops really didn't do too much different. So I gave it a 7.
And I gave it a 7 as well.
Survival mode was, in my opinion, where Modern Warfare 3 stood out and where it shined.
I think they spent more time on that than multiplayer, to be honest. I mean, I just feel like that.
Survival mode was fantastic. Survival mode is essentially Nazi Zombies mode if you played any Treyarch version of Call of Duty. but instead of zombies, you're facing other people, other just normal AI.
I would say it's Gears Horde 2.0 combined with Nazi zombies.
Yeah, you face never-ending waves of enemies.
You get helicopters coming in. You have juggernauts, dogs strapped with C4.
Suicide bombers.
Does that? Who does that to dogs?
Yeah,
that's just wrong.
That's pretty intense. You can buy guns. You can buy airstrikes, perks,
and it has a separate leveling system for multiplayer.
Yeah, so as you level up, you can buy better guns or buy better kill streaks or airstrikes. I liked it a lot. My first time playing, I got to wave 30, and me and a friend of mine were ranked at 33,000th in the world. Which, first time, that's pretty impressive. I mean, how many people bought Modern Warfare? There were 6.5 million copies sold the first day. I think we're at 60,000th now. We'll probably have to
first time I played, I got to 23, and the Juggernauts are too much.
Yeah, the Juggernauts are pretty intense. Survival mode really. I found myself wanting to go play survival mode over wanting to play multiplayer, which is a pretty big deal for a Call of Duty game. Call of Duty's always been about, we have the best multiplayer, and in this one it really didn't feel like that. I feel like the multiplayer, was really weak. We'll talk about that in a minute, but
I think survival mode was more of a thing to blow off steam if you're getting mad at multiplayer.
Yeah, I honestly preferred survival mode over multiplayer mode. It was just so much. The only gripe I had was that it was only 2-player.
If it was 4-player, it'd be so much more.
Yeah, and with the leveling system, it keeps you to come back to.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic. It was there really wasn't too much more they could do.
One of my favorite things that they brought back was the dog neck break.
Yeah, that's kind of a gripe. I
sound kind of bad for saying that, but it's back.
I felt sad that it was the exact same animation.
Yeah.
There were some reload animations that were the same too. It was disappointing. Oh, one thing I'd like to add about the campaign is that there was a building that they used in the campaign mode that was the exact same building from a Call of Duty 4 multiplayer game.
I did not notice that.
Yeah, I can't think of the map name. It's the one with the train on the side, and there's an underground part where you can get in that tube or whatever.
I'm not sure.
Played Call of Duty 4.
I played it, but I'm.
It was that one where when we would play Search, we would just hide in that guard watch building in the back and hide in bushes and shoot each other.
I don't remember. We'll figure it out.
We didn't play Call of Duty 4 too much together. I played with a few other friends, and Ben didn't really have multiplayer or Xbox Live at the time. But yeah, it was the exact same building. I just noticed that just off seeing it. I was like, whoa, this is the same building. But that was disappointing. But for survival mode, I gave it a 10. It was, shining point.
I gave it a 10 too, because it's something new for Call of Duty. It's kind of new, but at the same time it's not because of Nazi zombies. But
right.
Nazi zombies is great.
Multiplayer is where Call of Duty has always put its staple at. Multiplayer has always been a staple for Call of Duty games, and in this one I felt like it was a little disappointing, to be honest.
It's hard to build on Call of Duty multiplayer without being repetitive, because at first it's so great, but if you keep repeating the same formula, then it gets boring. So then you get Guitar Hero
or Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Both fantastic series.
It's hard to come up with something new and keep people playing.
Well, I think Battlefield 3 showed that they can keep something completely new.
Yeah, but they had a whole new engine.
Yeah, well, sometimes you gotta take some time off and do some work. New modes. There was Kill Confirm. Was there anything else?
Team Defender.
Team Defender. Yeah.
I actually enjoy that game mode a lot.
I was meh. I wasn't either way really. With it, I was neutral. Kill Confirmed. We'll talk about Kill Confirmed more because it seems to be the more popular mode. Yeah. Kill Confirmed is Team Deathmatch with a little bit of a twist. Every time you kill someone, they drop their dog tags, and you have to run over them and obtain them to earn a point. If you're killed and your teammate picks up your dog tags before an enemy can, they're denied that kill, and they can't score from that.
So it's a little more strategy.
Well, essentially, it's Team Deathmatch where they try to discourage camping. Is what they're trying to do. Trying to keep you moving around the map. Which is
their whole goal with their new map designs too.
Yeah, it was to keep the action going and to discourage camping, which I think kind of backfired. I mean, it seems like these maps are more filled with campers.
No, I don't think it's camping. Well, I haven't experienced camping as much.
Well, not in Kill Confirmed so much, but in other modes there was a lot of camping. Kill Confirmed was pretty great. I mean, it had some definite flaws, but I enjoyed the game mode. One thing about Kill Confirmed is the spawns. And that's not just Kill Confirmed. There's some other game types too where the spawns are just
like us and other people have noticed that See, if you go into the maps by yourself in like a private match just to like check them out, the maps really aren't that small.
Yeah,
it's just they put the spawns too close together, so it seems like the maps are smaller.
Yeah, I felt like in Kill Confirmed I would kill somebody and then there's another guy or two other guys right behind me shooting at me.
They just make it so there's more traffic in a certain area than making the map smaller.
And that's map design that they really could have done a lot better with. They could have moved the spawns back a little bit. I mean, I played it for a day and a half, and I know the spawns on almost every map. And maybe that's just how I play, where I just keep going back and forth flipping the spawns. But
Infinity Ward said they're going to make the maps more, like, where it have less power points.
Yeah, and they were going to have less areas where there was the action would go every single game, and that really didn't pan out. That exactly the opposite.
It's better. They improved on it, but there's still some spots. But that's more. I'd say it's more players and map design sometimes. Maybe.
It's players. They say players have this free will, but I think map design really dictates where you go and how you do it. Search was good. Search was fine. Just because the spawn system wasn't in place and it was enjoyable. I enjoyed Search a lot.
The Search and Destroy is always like the go-to game mode if you want to feel like you're awesome.
One thing that I'm very disappointed in Modern Warfare 3 is that in certain game modes like Search and Destroy, you're forced to go into game chat, so you can't, cheat.
But it's like some people say they want stuff from Black Ops back in MW3, but people don't realize that it's different because Treyarch makes Black Ops and Infinity Ward makes Modern Warfare, so they have different aspects to it. Like Black Ops game chat was so clear.
Yeah, Black Ops. I mean, game chat should be clear. It shouldn't be distorted like it is in Modern Warfare 3 and
Modern Warfare 2. It was really bad.
Yeah, it was. Don't even get me started. It was. Oh my god. But that seems like laziness on their part, honestly. I mean,
because they don't realize that we're coming from Black Ops, we're not coming back from Modern Warfare 2, so they have to improve on Black Ops and Modern Warfare 2 at the same time.
It's just like, why am I having to hear this distorted game chat? You're a game of 2011 and you can't make clear game chat. That's extremely disappointing.
If I'm not playing Search and Destroy, I'm always in party chat. If you're on Xbox.
Right. Yeah. Well, PS3 is inferior in that aspect anyway.
Yeah.
But we play on Xbox 360, so that's where we're coming from with this.
Yeah.
But game chat just shouldn't sound that bad, and it does, and it shouldn't be like that. It's 2011.
It's better than Modern Warfare 2, but worse than Black Ops.
It's still terrible. It's still really bad.
It still needs improvement.
I mean, I thought my mic was messed up when I first went in the game chat, and I was like, oh wait, this is how Modern Warfare 2 was, and I was like, really? If you can't make that better. That's extremely disappointing. Which another thing with multiplayer I saw was netcode with player-to-player touching.
You bump into other players constantly, and it gets annoying.
I prefer the Black Ops where you can't pass a player to the bumping around and each of you spazzing out. It was really disappointing. I mean, that was something that seemed just like a little more laziness on Infinity Ward's part.
Something I like about the multiplayer is the perks, because now they just got rid of stopping power like they did with Black Ops, and
that was a definite plus.
The new perks don't give you as much of an advantage as they used to.
Perks really didn't stand out to me, honestly. I was just kind of like, well, they're there. They sure are.
Yeah, they focus a lot more gun on gun.
Yeah, and I feel like that was a plus. I ended up using the UMP a lot.
Yeah, and
it was pretty much my go-to
I don't think people are complaining so much about overpowered guns at this point.
One gun I definitely saw that was overpowered from my very first match was the T95. The T95.
Yeah.
It's like the M16 at Call of Duty 4.
Except the M16 in this sucks.
Yeah. If you played Call of Duty 4, the M16 was the gun.
Yeah.
And in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, it seems like the T95 is that one. It's pretty overpowered. I've been one bursted plenty of times, one bursting they took out of Call of Duty from every Call of Duty past Call of Duty 4. They took that out because that was a significant problem.
Yeah.
And in Modern Warfare 3, they brought it back, and I think it's going to be a significant problem.
M16 you can't one burst though.
No.
Well, you can, but only if you're really good with it.
Yeah, but I just was very disappointed that there were still a little bit of balancing issues. But overall, I feel like it was still pretty solid despite some bad spawns and some bad netcoding. The player-to-player host connect or player-to-player connection for hosting servers is a pro and a con. With a pro, it's like, well, we hardly ever go down because we're player-to-player. We don't have servers somewhere, which means that if we're having issues, you guys won't have issues. You guys will always be up, which is where server hosting fails. Is that sometimes you have to take the servers down, and then all the gameplay, online gameplay is down for a few hours. But where it definitely is a con at is if you have a bad host, your game's ruined.
Yeah.
And then there's
it's always that argument. Well, I shot half my clip in the kill cam. You're not shooting at all.
Yeah, there's host connection advantage.
Yeah, host advantage.
Host advantage. Sorry. Host advantage. The host always has that slight edge over everyone else, which
with a game that's based on fast-paced gameplay,
that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
I feel like they should take a server route like DICE does. I think they should, just because it would be more.
I'm wondering if they have the resources to do that yet, because they're building themselves back up.
I mean, they sold like $440 million.
They maybe now they do.
$440 million. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And I guarantee they're still riding on their Modern Warfare 2 sales.
Probably. And two new aspects though for multiplayer is gun proficiencies, which levels up the guns separate from your actual level, and I think that makes people like more personalized with their weapons.
Yeah, you unlock attachments, camo, and they kind of added gun perks into guns now.
Yeah.
Where you have 2 attachments.
They call them proficiencies now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they level the gun as you use it. The gun levels up, and if you have a gun that has all attachments unlocked, it means that you used it a lot. There was the deep impact of Call of Duty 4 is now in the gun. Bling from Modern Warfare 2 is now in the gun.
Yeah.
Iron Lungs is now in the gun.
Mm-hmm.
Steady aim, not in the gun.
No,
steady aim still. Yeah.
Well, they have something called kick, but that's when you're aiming down sights.
Yeah. Well, I felt like that was definitely a plus. So for multiplayer, I gave Modern Warfare 3 an 8.
And I gave multiplayer a 9. One more aspect that I want to talk about multiplayer is the new kill streak system, which now they call point streaks.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's definitely a big plus. With point streaks, you can still get 3, 5, 8 or whatever. You can still do that.
Yeah.
But on top of that, if you're a team player, like say I am, because I play a lot of Battlefield, and when I do kill confirmed, I'll go after the dog tags. I'll go after 2 dog tags before I go after 1 kill.
Yeah. Kill death ratio doesn't really matter to support players, really.
Yeah, I feel like it doesn't. I feel like if the team's winning, I'm doing my job.
Yeah.
And that definitely shines. That shows in Battlefield 3. And if you ask any Battlefield 3 player, they're going to say, well, KD isn't as important as win-loss.
Well, it's not to me, at least. But if you don't know, they have assault. You can choose from 3 different point streak types. My bad. Assault, support, and specialist. Assault is like your regular kill streaks. You die,
you got Predator missiles, Halos, AC-130s.
If you die, they go away. Support, however, is like more UAV, SAM turret, that type of stuff. But when you die, your kill streak doesn't go away because they're more support oriented.
Right. As you score points and score points and score points, you'll get your next kill streak. And you score 500 points in a row, you're gonna get your next kill streak. And I feel like in Search, if you had 2 really good rounds and had 1 bad round, you weren't punished for it. If I had 1 really good, then bad, then really good, I still had my point streaks.
And the reason they call them point streaks is you get 1 point for kills, and you also get points for capping flags, planting bombs, and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I feel like that was made players a little more team based.
Yeah. Instead of lone wolf.
It's still lone wolf, definitely. But certain players that have played, say Battlefield 3, or are just team players, get rewarded now, whereas in every other Call of Duty game, it seems like if you weren't lone wolf in it, you had a disadvantage. You weren't rewarded as much as the lone wolves.
If you want to feel like a one-man army, you can choose the specialist point streak package, where if you get 2 kills, you get an extra perk, and then next 2 kills, you get an extra perk, and if you get up to 8 kills, then you get all the perks. But all those go away after you die.
Yeah, I love to get all the perks. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's why most people use hardline with that, so they can get like a perk after 1 kill.
Right. Those people that are just good.
Mm-hmm.
But it was multiplayer had some definite kinks for sure.
Another thing I noticed, so when people are running, the run motion is different. When they hold their gun down, it looks more realistic instead of like doing a S motion.
Did you see the striker in certain shotguns where they're like flinging it up in the air? That was funny. That made me laugh. I don't know if they were being serious when they put that in, but I was like, really?
Oh, and they nerfed the shotguns and the noob tubes too. So those
Striker's pretty insane. I wouldn't say they nerfed all of them.
Well, not all of them, but like for the
Striker.
most part. Like a noob tube, it most of
Good.
the time won't kill you in one hit unless you're hit directly.
Striker is so good.
I tried the spaz, it's okay, but
I love the Striker. It's so good. Got like 18 rounds. Just spray crazily. I don't even know what the iron sights look like. Not even sure what they look like. But for multiplayer, I gave Modern Warfare 3 an 8.
And I gave it a 9.
As far as replayability, Modern Warfare 3 definitely excelled again. You know,
it's that competitive side and the unlocks that keep making you want to play.
If you ask me, I'm a die-hard Battlefield 3 fan, without a doubt. Battlefield fan, without a doubt. I've always loved the Battlefield series since Battlefield 2, and I'll continue to love it because Battlefield 3 was not at all a disappointment to me. But after getting the chance to play Modern Warfare 3 for a bit, I kind of want to go buy it, and I might go buy it maybe. I'm going to try and...
I said I would never buy MW3, and I was just a hypocrite and went out and got it.
I think I'm going to get it on Black Friday. I think it's on sale.
Black Friday.
Yeah, that's this week, right? Yeah, this game's this week.
Yeah.
Our show will be on Black Friday.
Oh well, people just buy stuff. Help our economy out.
But you know, I might go buy it definitely because it keeps me coming back, and I enjoyed that. You know, I really did. You know, but the thing about it is it still has some things that are extremely frustrating, like the player-to-player connection and the spawn points.
Like every single game, I hear myself saying, "Get out the way," because I keep bumping into people.
You know, right now I feel like I want to, you know, I want to go do 12-1 again in Search and Destroy, or want to be 25-3 and kill confirmed. And that, me wanting to go back to that is kind of a big deal because if you ask me, I'm not a huge Call of Duty fan. I never really have been since Modern Warfare 2. But you know, I definitely am probably going to buy it just because it's catchy.
It's like, but if aside from all the graphics, the sound, the controls, just if you have fun with the game, play it.
Yeah, you know, if you ask me and Ben, I'd have to say Ben's probably a bigger Call of Duty fan versus me being a Battlefield fan.
I mean, I like Battlefield 3 a lot,
right.
But
you know, and it's vice versa for me. You know, I enjoy Call of Duty, but Battlefield is my baby. So I gave replayability a 9.
And I gave it a 10.
So that for Modern Warfare, that gives me an 8.5.
It gives me an 8.5,
So our Connection Erupted score is an 8.5 for Modern Warfare 3. If you watched or have watched our Battlefield 3 episode, it's a whole point lower. We got a 9.5, 9.25 for Battlefield 3, I think.
Yeah, it's close to that, but it's more.
And you know, I feel like that was a fair scoring. You know, I mean,
Battlefield 3 is definitely a better game, but Modern Warfare 3 just reaches out to a bigger audience. I think.
You know, Battlefield 3, like we said, it sets a new standard. It really did set a new standard.
Yeah.
And then Modern Warfare 3 really didn't do that. You know, it didn't really do anything too new.
They wanted to add things to it, but make it so people wouldn't complain about, hey, this game's completely new, I don't want to play it.
You know, but I think they definitely need some new they need a little innovation, definitely. I think that's where, you know, replayability failed a little bit, is that they didn't do anything new, so that was a little bit of a disappointment.
That might have also helped like the general crowd because they like the whole Call of Duty unlock system and
yeah. You know, so for replayability really was a big deal because, you know, me hating Call of Duty almost, I want to go pick it up now. So I gave it a 9.
And I gave it a 10.
You know, one thing that it really was catchy, just like every other game has been. It's been catchy.
It's fast paced. I mean, that's what everybody wants with the game.
Yeah, you know, and it definitely had a plus. It wasn't anything bad at all. So, you know, I'm Logan Stringer or Reckless Panda on Xbox Live. You add me, I'll play Battlefield 3 with you. I'll play, that's about it with you. I'll probably play Modern Warfare 3 when I pick it up later.
And I'm Ben Van Camp from Mr. Cornflake. I'll play Gears of War, Battlefield 3, Modern Warfare 3, whatever.
Yeah. So, for Connection Erupted, we'll see you later.